Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's good to see everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. It's wonderful to have you guys all here supporting us, watching the show today. So I just want to introduce everybody. I want to introduce my co-host. There's Brandon here. And let me just bring Brandon up bigger a little bit because you'll see his background in a second. We'll talk about that in a minute. And we have our beautiful moderator here, Michelle. So she's going to be in the chat with you guys.
Hi,
she's
everybody.
going to be introducing everybody. Say hello, Michelle.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
Good to have you on. We're so happy to have you here. And for those that don't know, Michelle is my daughter. So extra round of applause for putting up with me. Yeah, thanks everybody for coming on. Brandon, how is Hawaii? So if you guys don't know, Brandon went to Hawaii last week, and yes, there he is.
So I'm here for about 4 or 5 weeks. It is gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous. You know, this past year, we've all been through a lot of interesting stuff, and I, feel I have been through a lot as well. And it's felt like a sort of a detachment from my regular sense of self, where I feel always connected to everyone and everything around me. And so having given readings over this past year, it's been very direct. I have to very directly connect with somebody to intentionally make that connection. And it's different than what I had used to live, which is a constant sense of feeling and connection and feeling that closeness. And my goodness, I feel it here. This whole trip was literally divinely inspired. The way that it happened, it just all fell into place. And the trip is going exactly that way. It's really reconnecting me with a lot of the roots, my own beliefs, my regular state of consciousness. It's putting me in the perfect place. It's like exactly what I needed. Spirit was like, hey, we need to give him this because he's got stuff to do. So it's pretty awesome. I'm incredibly grateful. Seriously grateful.
I love how Spirit will come in and give you exactly what it is that you do need at the times that you do need it. And sometimes
you
it's
have to trust it.
Great, but sometimes it's it's still needed. It's for a lesson or for some sort of teaching in a way, but it is there, right? And most of the time, it's a really good thing. We just have to recognize it.
That's the thing, and you have to really trust it. I was like in a little bit of anxiety, figuring out if I was going to actually take the trip or not. And at some point, it was like this little faint whisper in the back of my brain that was like, "You need to trust again." And I'm like, "Okay. I will. Here it is. I'm trusting," and it all fell into place. So that for anybody that's listening, that does struggle with listening to that internal voice, we all have a sense of intuition. We all have some kind of communication with our guides, higher self, spirit, God, universe, source, whatever you are connected with or label it as. And it's that listening and directly taking action from that listening it's the challenge. But if you trust it, it really does work. It's beautiful.
Absolutely. So how was the trip? How was the plane and all of that stuff?
So I ended up having a whole row to myself, which was nice. Even though the flight here was pretty packed, and that kind of usually happens for me. I get weirdly lucky, especially when I travel by myself. I get all sorts of strange luck, which is pretty cool. But flying was nice. I kind of just downloaded some movies and things so I could just kind of zone out for the trip. And it was really interesting. After 10 hours in the air, you start to become a little delirious, about your surroundings, your environment. But let me tell you, I just immediately knew. I knew right away when we were over Hawaii. It was a shift for me. It was a shift in energy, in pressure, and I could feel it right away. I'm like, oh, we're here. We're close. I can feel it. And then all of a sudden, not 3 seconds later, the captain gets onto the microphone. It's like, all right, we're going to start beginning our descent and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I knew it. I look out the window. I see Big Island over there. I'm like, I knew it. I could feel it. And you gave me the advice. You're like, as soon as you get off the plane and out into the air, take in a nice deep breath, really breathe it in. And I did. And I could smell that salt and that ocean. But what's even more interesting is the sense of connectedness and community that I felt immediately. It's like I wanted to help people. What's currently happening on Hawaii is it's actually been raining quite a bit. And up, I'm on Oahu right now. And up on the North Shore, there's so much rain that flooding is happening. And I'm like, I'm telling my sister, like, let's go volunteer if we need to, let's help people. So we did what we could. She has 2 kids, so we've been busy helping, take care of them. And so we, were able to donate some stuff and bring them somewhere. So at least we're able to extend that. But it's that sense of just giving and that sense of community that it touches me. I can't help it. It makes me tear up a little bit. I just love that feeling. And it obviously seems like a common theme here in Hawaii, but it's something, I hope to bring back with me to the mainland. And it's something I used to live by as well. So hopefully, that energy will carry with, and I can extend it to others.
Did you go to the International Cultural Center yet, or
not yet? No, not yet. No,
yeah.
Well, I'm here for like 5 weeks.
Beautiful. What's
so
that?
I'm here for like 5 weeks, so I've got plenty of time.
But
it's just been so rainy. It's been so rainy. Today's like one of the clearest days we've had so far. We were able to get to the beach yesterday, but it of course was like raining on and off.
Which beach?
I don't remember. No, I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I could see. Okay, so I'm over a bunch of underplanes as well. I apologize, and they're gigantic. If it gets distracting, I'll move and go somewhere else. But I could see there's a big hospital, and I could see Honolulu over this bay. Oh! It was an extension of Pearl Harbor. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
It was right by Pearl Harbor.
Cool.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So, for those watching, like I've actually been to Hawaii 3 times, and when I was little, I shouldn't say little, I was preteen. Let's just say that. So I used to Hawaiian dance, and we used to Hawaiian dance here in Edmonton, and we did Hawaiian Tahitian dancing, and we used to compete all around, the city, the province, stuff like that. And when we got to go to Hawaii, we actually went to pick up costumes because we bought our costumes from Hawaii and brought them back with us. And I got to dance at the International Cultural Center because we were there looking around. Wow. We had mentioned that we were dancers, that we did Hawaiian dancers, and they were like, come on up, and you get to dance with us and everything. So it was fantastic. I mean, Hawaii is one of my absolute favorite places. So I
get it now. I totally get it. I totally understand. I've barely been able to see the land and landscape and mountains and beaches, but we've got a few hikes up our way. There's this really cool cave. I can't remember the name of it. I can look it up, but it's supposedly the lore is that it is the birthplace of mankind has come out of this cave, out of the land and mixture of water, and was birthed out of this cave. So we're definitely going to go and check that out. Now, this is a place that people say is haunted. So they say to not go there empty-handed. Definitely don't take anything, but bring some kind of offering. So I'm not sure what I'll bring. I'll follow my intuition on that and make an offering. So that way nothing is taken as a offering from me, that I might want.
Yeah.
So we've got all sorts of stuff.
Tobacco is usually like really, is quite common for donations towards.
What is it?
Tobacco.
Oh, yeah. Tobacco offerings. Yes.
Yeah, tobacco
I've definitely heard of that, especially Native
Yeah.
American culture.
Exactly. And possibly, I mean, you could, definitely, I would ask the locals and,
Mhm.
see what they recommend, but that's usually the standard is tobacco
Yeah.
of some sort, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I wonder why that is. I'd love to know more about that history because
Yeah, I
that's
honestly
interesting to
don't
me.
know. I really should, but, know more about it or whatever, but,
Mhm. Right.
um, so this is interesting, like as far as, donations go, like for spirit. And this doesn't have to do with Hawaii really, but we had gone out one time, just, I was like, this was here actually in Alberta, and it was like a private land. And we had
Mhm.
gone out, and a friend of mine who was also like a psychic medium wanted to take me out there and said, look I just want to show you this. I want you to tell me what you see. And I was like, okay. So we went out there and we're sort of in this clearing, like this bush, like there's lots of bush around us, but it's like a little trail. And we stopped and he took out some, a couple of cigarettes, put them down on the ground, and almost instantly I don't even know how to explain this. It was literally these shadows just came right through the bush. And I
Whoa.
went, am I seeing shit?
Yeah.
Like, what in the heck? And it was like, there were so many of them. There were so many of them. And there were these big dark shadows. And one was really large, but he was further back. And I remember just looking I couldn't really see faces particularly. It was more literally like shadows. And he said, don't be scared. Don't be scared.
Mhm.
They're fine, And I was in awe, like absolute awe watching this. And all of a sudden, that the one that was at the back that was really large just literally started coming up towards us. And I was like, oh my God. Like I've
Huh.
never seen anything like this. It was this big dark shadow, but when I say dark shadow, it wasn't like evil or anything like that.
Right.
It was just a representation.
Right.
And so anyway, we kind of stayed there for a little bit, and it was interesting because it felt very friendly. And as they were, after a while, the shadows sort of started forming the faces, so you could kind of see the faces, but it wasn't.
Oh.
I don't know how to explain it. It was like, I want to say transparent,
Like a mist almost?
like almost like a more like as
Or
if
is
you were
it
to put a
more solid?
transparent picture on on another picture.
Okay, okay, okay.
Right? That would be the
Yeah.
best way to say it. Kind of like fades in, fades out.
Mhm.
There was no words really, but it was just, you could tell the friendliness of it. Like they were just very
Mhm.
friendly coming to say hi. So we went back to the car and we were getting into the car and we opened the door, and on the seat of my car was a white goose feather, or was a white, like a white feather of some sort. I looked like a goose feather, but I literally on the seat of my car.
Wow. That's always a sign from spirit.
Right.
Always.
And
Always.
I didn't see it at first. Like at first I was kind of like, because I was so in awe from this
Yeah.
clearing, and opened the door and I was about to get in and he was like, stop, like, look. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, oh my God. Like,
Wow.
oh my God, there's this feather sitting there so clearly. It was
That's
unbelievable.
incredible.
Yeah. And then I actually, it was weird too, because I said, well, somehow on the way over there, we had said, I had said I wanted to see a porcupine. This was so weird. I don't even know where this came from. It was just like we were just babbling about whatever. And literally on the side of the road, freaking out comes one, just waddling with. And I'm like, oh my God. Okay. Like spirit was just meant to, it was just, it was just with us that day. It was
Yeah.
unbelievable, just beautiful. So, it's when you allow yourself to open, when you allow yourself to just receive, it's amazing what can happen.
Absolutely. Well, shoot, I'm gonna have to go get some tobacco somewhere and try and put that up. Did you burn it or did you just leave it like the leaves?
No, he just left it. left it. He
Okay.
had like, because on the way down there he had stopped and bought like a couple of cigarettes or whatever. I think they just like, they were like 20 cents or whatever, you know what I mean, and something. And so he had bought a couple and went and put them down.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty
That's
cool.
so beautiful. I love those little signs and symbols. I mean, they just, I know it sounds so cliche almost, but they literally feel, for me, they make life worth living when you feel and see those moments of connection, or like direct thoughts or intuition to physical reality. I mean, that to me is just, it's worth its weight in gold. It shows you we are all connected, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's I'm so excited for your trip though. I can't wait to hear everything.
Thank you. I really am deeply grateful. Like I said, I wish I could bring all of you with me. And maybe honestly, you know, one day that could be a reality. You know, my dream and my goal is to create my resorts. And Hawaii is filled with that kind of energy of resort and retreat and, you know, coming away. So I'm either here to learn something important or make new connections that will be important in the future. It just all seems in line, you know, with what I have and what I feel for the purpose of my life.
I would say put out an intention and then let it go and see what happens, right? Like put out that intention.
I started to do that last night, and I'll do a little bit more today. It's only 10 o'clock in the morning here, so everybody's well in their day, but it's still the morning time for me. I apologize. I'm not all ready. I had to make breakfast and help with the kids and the baby. And
I think I messaged Brandon at like 6 o'clock his time. And I mean, it was already noon my time. I'm like up, I've been up for hours. And it's daylight savings here in our province, right? So we're ahead of where we normally would be too. So we're
and there's no daylight savings here in Hawaii. So it's still the same time. Now everybody else is different.
Yeah. I actually purposely set my alarm this morning for like, I purposely set it for 7 o'clock, which would normally be 6 o'clock, right? But I set it for 7 because I was like, if I don't, I'm going to wake up and feel like I missed an hour and feel all messed up. And be like, no, I'm going to feel like I missed my day because I love getting up early. I'm like an early riser and I love being up early and I love just, you know, being in the morning, I guess. Right.
I love it too.
Yeah. So I think maybe we could probably start getting things ready for the readings. We are going to be doing, so we'll talk a little bit about that and how we're going to be doing the readings. So for those of you that don't know, if you can see on the screen here, we do say that questions with donations will take priority. Okay. So we do have a donation link in there in the banner. And that can be made through PayPal or e-transfer if you're in Canada. Now, what we do for readings otherwise is we actually have a lottery system. So Michelle is going to be in the chat. She's going to start taking all of your questions. She's putting them in order for everybody. And there's going to be a number with your name. Okay. And she will post that into the chat. And what we're going to be doing is Brandon's going to be using a random generator and we're going to be announcing the name of whoever it is that number appears. And that will be after the donations. So please remember, guys, you can donate at any time. If you feel like you just want to be bumped up on the list, absolutely donate anytime. You'll be raised right up immediately to the top and we'll go from there. So some of the things that we won't read on. So I do want to address Lala really quickly. Lala, I just saw your question. Could you make it a little bit more specific? If there's something that you're like wanting to know about in particular, because that will be easier and you'll get an easier answer, not so general of an answer. rather than, basically the thing is the more general the answer, the more general the question, the more general the answer is going to be. Okay. And we really are doing only, mini readings to some part, but those with donations will probably get a little bit of longer reading. We're going to go a little bit more in depth. However, again, the more general the question, the more general is going to be the answer. Some of the things that we do not read on is we do not read on health. So no pregnancy, no health questions. We are not lawyers, so we don't answer legal questions. We prefer to not do third-party questions. We don't like to look into your person's other person. Okay, that's not our, that's, we just don't do that. We can look into the energy of the two of you, or you and another person. That's fine. We do ask that we want your names and birth dates as well. If you can't give the birth date, or if you don't want to put your birth date into the chat, just at least please give us your zodiac sign, and your other person. If you're looking into, if you want us to look into the energy of you and another person, please give us their first name and their birth sign, as well as, again, the question, and try to make it a little bit, as specific as you can without making it like an entire paragraph or book or novel. We don't need all of that information. But give us a general idea of what it is that you're looking into. Again, we just want to thank everybody for joining us today. And Michelle, do you need a couple of minutes to get everything organized? She may be off.
Hey
here.
guys.
Hey.
So,
Hey.
sorry, I just came on for that. So I've got already 5 questions, including Lala here. First, I have Sabrina, you're number 1, but we're still waiting on your sun sign. Lovity, I think that we have yours as 2, Angel 3, K 4, and Lala 5, but we're still just waiting on a little bit more information there. So, yeah, ready whenever you guys are for most of those questions, Brandon. And yeah.
And I do believe Nami sent us. Did Nami put her question in as well?
No, so those questions, it looks like we're sent via email, so you might have to check up on that one, as I don't see it.
Okay.
But we'll be doing that one first.
Okay, just give me. Oh, I do have Nami's question. So this was from. Okay. So Nami, is there one of the, like, when I'm looking at your questions from when you had sent them to me a few days ago, was there anything that you wanted particularly to really look at? Because some of her questions were, who are my guides? Do I have any relative spirits around me? And do my guides have any new messages for me? So we can look quickly into that. So as far as your guides go, I don't get names. I just wanted to let you know that. However, I do get images of guides, and I do get general impressions of guides. And I just need a couple of seconds here. I don't know, Brandon, if you wanted to kick in while I'm going through this, but
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Okay.
I just wanted to ground and center myself here, so that way I feel nice and connected. So are these, well, first of all, are these everybody that has donated? Is that what list we're looking at?
Yeah,
right
we're
now?
doing that.
Oh my gosh, thank you all.
And yeah, thank you. And Lala, I believe, Lovity donated as well. Lovity donated.
Okay.
And
All right, so Nami is first.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, absolutely. The relationship, I like to tell people with guides, is it's just that. It is a relationship. So, imagine me coming in and labeling your guide something that you would never ever call them or say to them. You have a direct connection with them. you know, for example, like Michelle and Kathy here, you know, I don't fully know the capacity of the relationship, but I imagine Michelle calls Kathy mom more than Kathy or Cathryn. So it's kind of the same way, you know, you and your guides have a very specific relationship. So finding out the names for each other, you know, it's a very sacred kind of connection, and it should be a sacred experience. Now, we might be able to sense and see general features, you know, if they're more masculine or feminine, you know, maybe they look like they're from a certain culture. We might be able to see stuff like that. I'm not a person that really connects to other people's guides, but when they want to be known, they will absolutely make themselves known. You know, if I'm trying to connect, or I know Kathy feels the same. I've heard her do it right in front of me. So I think, you know, just really focus on developing your own personal relationship with those guides. I'm going to mute real quick because I got a big plane flying over.
Okay. All right. No worries. So I'll just sort of just take, I'll kind of just jump in here a little bit. Naomi, I need to ask you about one thing. I do feel that there's a male around you, but I need to confirm him. And I feel like this is a relative. So what happens is when I'm connecting with people that have passed over, I might be trying to connect with your person that has passed over, but sometimes other people's people can come through. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. Like I could be reading for you, but some random person might be like, no, I want to be known. Okay, so it might not be connected to you. This is why I need to ask. So I do feel there is a male around you. I keep getting it's hard to determine his age because I almost feel like he is, I want to say he's a younger male. I want to say that he is, he's being very obscure. But I want to say he's about 30 in 20s. I'm just going to be broad because it almost looks like he's kind of back and forth here. 30 to 40 or 20 to 30, or let me get my mouth to work again. 20 to 40. Okay. So he's kind of back and forth. Does that make any sense, for you, Naomi? Because it feels as though like I said, it's like a younger male. When I say younger, he is under, like he wouldn't be considered elderly or anything like that. Like I feel like this could be, I want to say it could be like a brother, cousin, something along that line. So I just need to know if this is connected to you in any way. I think my foot's falling asleep. Hang on a second.
What was Naomi's zodiac? What was the date of birth?
Actually, I'm not sure if she had it up.
Pisces. I think she had added to the chat. I hope I'm correct.
Okay.
There.
Okay. That was my vibe, but I wasn't sure. I wanted to confirm because I could definitely feel Naomi, and the energy that is imbued here is a very much collective blend. I could feel that, and that screamed Pisces to me. So thank you for that confirmation here. I want to connect. I can see Naomi's questions here in the chat as well. Where'd they go?
I don't know if there's a delay or not, so it might be.
Okay, there we go. Let me just connect.
A bit of a delay, but so what I am getting, I'm just, like I said, I'm trying to just confirm if this person makes any sense to you. So I'm going to jump into your guides because I do have two that are popping up right away. What it's interesting because Naomi had messaged me last week, and we had chatted just a little bit, and as soon as we stopped the chat, I actually did see a guide come through. And then now this second one is appearing. So the first guide that I actually got, I feel like this is, so again, how they present themselves, it could be any culture, it could be any race. This has nothing to do with any sort of anything. This is how they appear. This is how they wish to appear. What I get is a I want to say this person is Indigenous. She's younger, Indigenous. She's quite beautiful, but very thin. And what she does, I feel like it's almost as though she's coming in with an energy of younger, playful. She's very, what is she? I'm just trying. It's almost as though she's trying to tell you to not be so serious in some manner. It's trying to tell you like to live life. And so when you're asking for messages, this is what I get. It's almost like it's a very playful type of energy. The second guide I get is complete opposite. So he is a man that is in literally, like, he is presenting himself to me in like a top hat and a tuxedo, which is really unusual because I've actually never seen a guide appear so dramatic like this. But again, this feels very talented. Like, it feels as though it's a guide that is trying to present to you something in regards to talent or creativity or being more, again, expressive, because he feels like somebody that you would see in an old-fashioned movie doing like the tap dancing with the cane is what I want to say. And it feels like the both of them together are trying to present to you in some way about being more expressive, letting go of, fears in regards to talent, artistry, expression. It's like, just be yourself. Just be yourself. You don't need to hold yourself back. You don't need to hide yourself in any way. It feels like, start expressing your own talents, your own creativity, start really.
Well,
go ahead, Brandon.
it's just exactly in line with what I keep being shown.
Right?
Mamie, I don't know if you have gone through this already, but they keep pushing this vision over and over in my mind of a Kundalini awakening. And they quite literally show me that serpent rising through the body and coming out of the third eye, which is really interesting because usually the snake hits crown, but it's coming out of third eye. So this either means that you are in the process of going through an awakening or you are about to. So I think what Kathy is saying is absolutely right, that there is this sense of needing that self-reliance, being able to know your own connections and sources. It's just going to be very important. I also am being shown that it's going to explain a lot for you, a lot of unexplainable things that have happened in your own life, things that almost seem like they're out of your control. They're kind of being guided by your energy and what's happening at an unconscious level. And so spirit is really indicating to become conscious of the unconscious, if that makes sense. And a Kundalini kind of awakening or sensation, it really, really hammers that perspective in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just keep feeling like sort of a repression going on, like we're feeling repressed, being held back, maybe again not expressing yourself in some way. And
Yes.
it's like these guides are really trying to come in and what's interesting is these guides are from absolutely two different realms or cultures or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're complete opposite of each other, but they are interacting in such a way that is really, really, hello. They're really expressing that they want you to start opening up. And like Brandon said, Kundalini, like allow this to start,
piercing the veil.
Yeah.
It's about that time.
I'm really feeling a lot of inner work, meditation coming through.
Yes.
Allowing yourself to open, allowing yourself to just follow. Again, I keep getting this male who feels like he's passed over. I don't know where he's coming from. He could be an older male, but he's presenting himself to me in a younger range. And I keep wanting to say, 30s, something like that. I don't know who this is as far as a relative goes, but he keeps coming forward. And again, if you can confirm that again, there might be a delay here. So maybe we're not getting
full reaction right away.
Yeah. So as we go through this, she can always, kind of post that if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
and
we're good at multitasking. We can look at one reading and connect with another.
I don't feel that he particularly has any messages, but I do feel he's there. So it's kind of, usually when they appear like that, it's like a confirmation to say, look I'm okay. I'm here. I'm with you. That's really, unless there's a specific message coming through, so I think we'll leave it at that for right now, because those are the main messages that I'm really getting at this moment. So
it seems like an awakening is just, it's in the cards. Really, it seems like that's exactly what's about to happen, if not already happening.
I'm also being shown something about money. And this literally just popped in. So I think that if there is a concern or something about money, I'm being shown, excuse me, I'm literally being shown money with the wings, like those little icons or emojis, you know what I mean? So it feels as though this is coming in some way. So if there's a concern in regards to a payment or money of some sort, I do get the impression that you're supposed to just kind of relax on it and not let it affect you at this time. Like just let it be. It's going to be okay is what I keep hearing. So
yeah, I get a good gut reaction from that too.
What's that?
I get a good gut reaction to that too. What you were connecting with, I feel that solidness.
Yeah, it does. It feels very solid with that. So, I guess we'll go. So then it would be Lovity, I believe, is the next one. I don't know if Michelle, if you want to read us Lovity's question.
Hey, so Lovity's question, she is an Aries and she wants to know what's coming towards her in love.
Love. So this is what we had addressed on a different show. Love as far as a relationship. Love as far as family. I am going to assume that it's always about relationship, but
I'm pretty sure it's going to be relationship, I think is what she...
But I want all of our listeners to know, when you just say something love, see, the English language doesn't really capture love like other languages do. There's so many different forms of love. And I only say this so that we bring you the specifics of information. Because if you say love, I mean, Kathy and I could connect with the shoelace that you fell in love with 8 weeks ago because it just stays tied all the time. You know what I mean? Like, it could be absolutely anything. And that's genuine love. So that's mine and Kathy's aim, is to not only be able to provide you really great readings, but to also get you to the readings and the answers that you are really asking. Oftentimes people ask things and they're not really asking what they want to know. So that's our aim in helping to be specific here. It helps you all to be able to get direct and clear answers. So if you ever feel frustrated with our little rules, just know we're literally doing it for y'all. And we're trying to make sure you get the best info.
So I keep hearing the word April, which I know is Aries. Like I know that's around, no, is it? I don't even know. I can't remember right now. My brain, I'm so focused on April.
It is mostly Aries, yes.
I'm so focused on April right now. It feels like, Naomi, I'm just going to get back to you in just a second. I just read your question. So I'm going to get back to that in just a second. Okay, so Lovity, I continuously feel April. Now, what I'm being shown here, just give me a second because I'm being shown two things. It almost feels like with April, Okay, are you worried about your birthday? like getting to an age or something about, maybe not having that relationship that you've been desiring or something like that, because it feels like April is some sort of turning point for you. I feel an underlying, thing of stress underneath it, or some sort of underlying worry or concern, something like that. And I keep hearing, don't just stop. Like, don't put a worry on it. Don't put a, she's like, no, about her. Oh, she's worried about her party. I'm still okay. Because it was some sort of worry or something. I don't know. Something was there.
I keep getting this vision, if you don't mind me jumping in, Kathy.
No, go ahead.
Spirit keeps showing me that for you, Love T, there's an idea within your minds. And I don't know if you have the idea of what a relationship should look like, or like a perfect relationship, or something of a dream or a fantasy, but they keep showing me that there's this like culmination of feelings and images that you've kind of compiled together in your brain. And they just keep showing me the action of speaking them out. So I don't know if you do this regularly, but it shows me that by speaking whatever is kind of rolling around in the brain about what you truly want and desire, that perfect relationship for yourself, it does need to become vocal. And they show me literally this direct path of idea, fantasy, dream, vibration into reality, and then the physical manifestation of it. It's almost quite literally like you can speak this into existence. So I don't know, again, if you are speaking about it often, but they're showing me that you kind of have this very interesting direct connection into manifesting relationships in your life. So it seems important, at least right now, with whatever you're trying to engage yourself with as far as connecting with another. I feel like the other part of this is to really know what is within the mind. What are the true desires? Are you coming off of desires that are ingrained in your own subconscious, that you're attracted to people and you've never been able to quite figure out and understand why? Or do you know exactly why you're connected to these people, where it comes from, what it feels like, why it feels this way, what it gives to yourself, what it gives to your future? It's important to dive into all those things. So Spirit is really giving this message of becoming very, very clear with what is culminated in that own vision of desire for what you want or are attracted to in a relationship, because quite literally you are going to be speaking it out and it manifesting in front of you.
Yeah, allowing it to manifest. I do keep hearing, I keep hearing here that I almost feel, okay, so I don't, give me a second. I'm apparently very tongue-tied today and I have no idea why. I keep getting that there's somebody that is supposed to come in, but you cannot. This is very similar to what Brandon's saying in regards to manifesting. Make sure you're manifesting the right person. And I do feel that there is a little bit more life experience that needs to be involved here, or some sort of, it doesn't mean that you're lacking life experience. It just feels this even could be off of their side, like that they need some sort of experience to come in here before there's that true connection going into the future in a solid relationship. Okay. It doesn't mean that you can't date. It doesn't mean that, you can't, have fun or hang out or whatever it is. But I do feel somebody solid coming through here. It's just going to be a little while longer. Okay. I don't know your exact age or anything like that, but I keep hearing I keep hearing it's almost like there's just some more steps that you have to do. I'm literally being shown like the Hermit card. And when I get this card in my mind, it's almost as though don't put too much into worry or panicking or anything like. It's like manifest what you want, exactly like Brandon said. But the Hermit only shows you step by step. So it's not going to show you the whole path. And, you know, he holds this lantern in front of him and he takes a step and then he shows you the next step after you've completed something that is going to be, you know, from your inner self, some sort of inner clearing, inner healing, inner knowledge, inner lessons, whatever it is. And then he shows you the next step. So this is what I keep getting. And so it's almost like, don't worry about, you know, that future partner at this time, because I feel like through these lessons, they're just going to come through. They're going to appear. It just feels like it's not going to be quite yet, is what I keep getting. And take Brandon's advice in regards to the manifesting, because this is going to be massive when you're ready for that solid relationship, when you're ready for that relationship that is going to be, you know, possibly a life relationship, that type of thing. But, you know, we want to make sure that they want to make sure that you're in a place, because literally we said and that's how I channel. We want to make sure that you're in a place ready to receive all of the benefits of this relationship. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. If you're not in a place of recognizing exactly what it is that you want, you're not going to be bringing through the relationship that is going to be solid. And this is what they're asking of you at this time. So I hope that helps.
Beautifully put. It's so important, you know, that we know that culmination of what we are imagining, that's in the subconscious, because you can manifest stuff. I mean, I see it all the time where I work with people in a hypnotherapy setting, and they're in these situations that they're manifesting, and something happened to them way in the past, and they didn't even know they were manifesting it, because that's what's in their subconscious. That's their motivation. So it's always so important to make sure that you know what's going on back there. You know what your visions really are. There can certainly be bliss and ignorance, right? You know, we've heard that a lot. But if you are an active participant, you know, of your life, and you're very conscious of it, then it will be important for you to really know what's going on back there. You know, what am I attracting?
Yeah, absolutely.
That goes for everything, right? Yeah. Whether it's relationships, whether it's work, whether it's, you know, connections of friendship and what have you. It goes for all of it. But love is especially fueled because that's a powerful emotion.
You know, I want to chime in there for a second. There's so many people that say things such as, they'll say things like, well, I don't want an alcoholic. I don't want somebody that drinks. I don't want somebody that does this. I don't want somebody that does. So what they're basically doing is spirit doesn't actually hear the don't.
Right.
And we're also putting focus on the alcoholic, the ghosting, the cheater, or what. So like we're putting attention onto that. So that's all they're hearing, because we're placing that attention and we're focused in on those words. Instead, you know, put a focus in on the things such as I want somebody, you know, who's solid. I want somebody who's faithful. I want somebody who's loyal. I want somebody who's kind. I want somebody. And then you can even start subcategorizing those, right? Because you could have a kind person who's completely irresponsible with money, or a gambler. It doesn't mean that they're, you know, a bad person because they're gambling. So again, you know, be specific in what it is that you're looking for. You want somebody kind. Okay, somebody who loves animals. Okay, great. But you also don't want a zoo in your house. You know? So break it down and be specific with what it is that you're looking and seeking and wanting within your life. Yeah. So I hope that helps. So Naomi, I just But I hope you will see them. You can write. Okay. So with Mimi's, I just want to address, because she did say that she didn't recognize that guy. So he definitely could have come from somebody within the chat. However, sometimes people, so I don't know if that resonates with anybody, because what I did pick up was a younger male around 30 or so that sort of appeared. So I don't know if he belongs to anybody again in the chat at this time. But I just want to clarify, Amy, is that sometimes people do appear in a younger form, okay, because that may have been a form where they were healthier or they were feeling much better about themselves. Again, I do feel this is a male. The name Roger could have a play in this, because I heard that immediately. But I'm going to let that be for now. I can probably, contact, because she had wanted a reading, through email. And I told her that I could probably, to come on to the show first, but I think we could probably move on. I don't know if we have any more donations. If you guys did want to donate, and so I'm just reading here. If you guys did want to donate, I am going to put the donation into the link. This will get you up to the top of the readings. We're going to be doing a lottery system, and we're only going until like 4 o'clock. So we're going to try and get in as many as we can, but we may not fit you in, just so you guys know, but we're always here. Also, I think this is a good time to mention about our own personal websites and stuff. So for me, if you guys want a personal reading, you can definitely reach me either through Facebook or through Instagram at Oracle Intuitions. You can also see my website at oracleintuitions.com. Message me through there in regards to private readings. Brandon, did you want to let them know how they can reach you?
Yes, absolutely. So you can go to my website, thedreamteacher.com. Go ahead and click on the appointments tab to set up a call with me. I do have a little bit of varied hours right now, just because, my time zones are completely off. I'm like 7 hours away from East Coast time zone in the US. So there will be some updates. I know that I have somebody who booked a free consultation. I'm not sure if they're listening in here, but I will have to get back to you today and kind of reschedule, just because the timing is going to be completely off. So I will work with that, but you can still book sessions with me. I still have downloads that you're able to get, thedreamteacher.com, and you'll be able to find everything there.
Perfect. Okay, so I think what I wouldn't mind doing is I need a minute break before we start getting into the readings. And if Michelle wants to, are you doing the lottery, Brandon? I can't remember. Are you pulling the numbers, or
So I'll be pulling the numbers. Yeah, Michelle has compiled all the questions and everybody who is asking. But I just want to let everybody know, we'll take pretty much anybody's question that's coming in. Nothing really guarantees you any kind of spot or reading. Again, it's all lottery. The only thing that does that is the whole donation that gives you that priority. So we do appreciate all of you that have donated. Again, we put this money right back into the show. You see our new little features, you hear our new music and little logos and stuff. So, it all goes right back into the show. And you guys know enough about me, I think, to know that literally everything that I give, receive, I like to give back in any way. And I know Kathy feels very similar. So if you do feel like you have a really pressing question and we're running out of time because we only have about an hour left, then you can still donate at any time. Just make sure you let us know in the comments that you have donated, so we can confirm and put you right up at the top of that list. So if you do have something pressing that you feel you want answered in today's show, you can absolutely still do that. Otherwise, it's just going to be a random chance occurrence by no control over me or anybody here. It's all random. So I use a random number generator. I don't know, sometimes I like those random things with technology. For example, if I'm in a certain mood and I on my iPhone or iTunes hit shuffle, sometimes that shuffle is so on point. So I don't know. Sometimes I think there's something to it, something with the maybe natural bioelectric feedback of the body mixing with technology in some way. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool, but I tend to keep myself open to all sorts of weird possibilities. So maybe y'all don't think the same way as I do. But so we'll use that. And that's what's going to kind of be your question. So Michelle has all of your questions here compiled. If you hear your number, please listen in. If you do hear your number, Michelle does have that list, but make sure that you listen in because you'll know that, okay, you're up next. And that way we can kind of interact with you a little bit, even though we're on a little bit of a delay. And for those of you listening, Naomi, I know that you were mentioning you weren't sure why we couldn't see your chats. And it's because your feed is in some way delayed. So it's that far back that it's not going to be instant. And it's not going to be instant anyway. It's going to be about a probably 20-second variation if you are watching live. So if you are watching live, go ahead and refresh your screen right now. So that way, if you feel like you're not caught up and you're not, you know, in the right realm, it should put you where we are as well. So that way we have good interaction with you when you are called on.
Absolutely. And also make sure that you guys are subscribed to the channel. I don't know if you mentioned that already. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel in order to get a free reading. And also, you know, if, like we said, you know, the same rules apply as what we look into and all of that stuff. So I don't know who's first.
Well, let's see. So Michelle, you said we've got 1 through 10 right now?
She's saying
So
4 to
right now we actually have 4 to 10 because we did answer
4
a
to
couple
10.
of the
Okay.
questions. Yeah. And we'll probably take some
4
more after that
to
if you
10.
guys want for the
Yeah, if
generator.
we do get more, just go ahead and give them their number and I'll update this list here. And it does keep track of all the numbers and I can make it, you know, 4 to 10 just as easy.
Okay, perfect.
Or,
We'll do
you
that
know what
for
I
now,
mean,
and then
4
we'll
to
take some
11,
more.
12, etc. Perfect. All right, so first up is going to be lucky number 5.
number 5.
Okay, so 5, that is Lala. She is a Capricorn, and I remember she had asked her question before. She emphasized on it. She wants to know what's going to be new this week and what should she pay attention to.
Okay.
All right. Good
So
question.
Lala, when you answered, when you put the question into the chat below, I instantly felt, as far as paying attention to, I did feel, okay, I hope that this makes sense to you. I felt a very strong female presence, not a ghostly presence or anything like that. This was a real person. I'm going to be honest with you. The first thing I felt was some jealousy coming through this week. This could be from somebody that you know, somebody that you encounter. And what I'm hearing, and I don't know why this is coming through. I don't know whether you have some sort of meeting to go to, or there's going to be some sort of interaction with a group of some sort, or maybe this could be a workplace. I'm not 100% sure about that, but it felt like there was maybe a few people around you, but I did feel like some sort of energy coming through with a female who may try to make you like either look bad, or they have some sort of issue with you. I feel like this is jealousy in some way. And what I'm hearing here is absolutely do not let it get to you. This is a temporary energy, and let it be. Let it go. Let it be. Just, you know, push it back. Just don't engage yourself with it. And I feel like this is really important. And that's what I got immediately. I don't know.
That makes a lot of sense because I keep being shown to not stay fully attached to things right now, to be quite distant with either people or situations, something that maybe feels extremely pressing for you. That Spirit keeps saying growth comes from distance at this time, that sometimes removing yourself or keeping away and kind of being that objective viewer of the situation, it does allow for things to
Be the
happen on their
observer.
own.
Be the observer is what I keep hearing. Be the observer.
Yes, exactly. So they keep showing me where you're kind of stepping back and looking at things from above. This is where all of this growth is ready to start coming in. But sometimes, we can't interfere. It's just like a plant, right? Sometimes you got to water that plant, you got to give it nutrients. But if you mess around with it too much, it's going to die. It's taking too much. It needs to do its own thing. It needs to have its roots and space and growth. Or if you finish with it too much, it's just going to, start withering and die. So this is a good example of that. You got to take a step back and allow the process to be as it is. So I'm not sure if there's anything that you've specifically been focused on, but they do keep showing me that it has something to do with what you're currently invested in. And it feels as far as work, finances,
sorry, guys.
etc. Focused on, but they do keep showing me that.
Sorry, that was me. Sorry, that was me. I apologize.
It's all right.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So yeah, that feels really important because they keep showing me that something is going to come through as far as this opportunity. They keep showing me something gets unlocked by way of networking. And so I feel that if you're immediately wrapped up in it, you're not going to make the right choice. But when you have that objective view, and being a Capricorn, Capricorns are honestly really good at this. They're good at taking a step back. When you are in that space, that's when you're going to be able to see the abundance. That's how you're going to be able to see all the little places that this opportunity or this invitation connects to. So definitely kind of remain observant, not disconnected or detached from reality, just a higher sense of perspective from it, being that objective view.
Yeah. And that's okay, Lala. You can always just rewind it a little bit. But I feel like this is very specifically, I just feel this feminine energy. Now, this could be somebody that it could be somebody random or like somebody but it could be friends, family, coworker. It could be just somebody who randomly shows up. I'm not getting a really strong connection with them to you, but I do keep getting some sort of feminine coming in and trying to disengage you in some way, like stir you up a little bit, like something that's going to throw you off track. And I feel like what Brandon has to say is, what is very important, because being in that observer, staying that distance, staying, impartial to all of this is going to make that difference. I just don't feel like this is the time to engage with it or give it any attention. Yeah. So I hope that helps.
I think that's, good advice again for everybody. We're right at the new moon, right? And once we plant our seeds, we got to let go, right? You plant the seeds, you water them, and then you let them do their thing. You just let it do its thing, let it grow as it is. So I think that's good advice for everyone right now as well.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's move on.
Thank you, Lala.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Lala. And sorry, I'm just that we can take the new one. Who is next?
All right, so let's pull this up. Our next number is going to be lucky number, one of my favorites, number 8.
Yay, who's number 8?
Hey, so 8 is best way, a Scorpio, and they would like to know who's coming towards me in love next.
Scorpio. What was their name? I'm so sorry.
I believe it was best way, but I feel like there might have been a little confusion with Shafty and best way. I could be wrong on that. I'm not sure if that just came up in the chat wrong, but yeah.
Do you have?
Best way, if you're still there, let me know.
Best way.
Do you have a number?
Could you put your
Oh,
Could you put
Pisces.
your real
Sorry.
name into the chat for us? That would be great. Oh, they're a Pisces.
Oh,
But could you
my
put
bad.
No, that's okay. Could you put your real first name into the chat for us? That would help.
Okay, so best way is 8. Shafi, it looks like, is number 10. So Shafi does have a number at least. So that's
Okay.
good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. Thank you, Michelle. And we'll see what best way's name is and Pisces. And the question was, oh, shoot. Could you remind us of the question again?
What is coming next? Forward in love, I believe.
Okay, that's what I thought. Judy. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. What is coming up? All right. So what I'm getting is the first word I'm hearing is there's a little bit of a delay as far as love goes at this moment. This isn't a bad thing. But I am getting that there is a delay, and it feels like this may have to do, I don't know if this has to do with a specific person that if this is a specific person that Spirit's trying to bring through to you. Okay. So this, if there's somebody that you're interested in or you're asking about, it could relate to them, but I'm just going to go with the message that I'm getting from Spirit. Is it feels as though there is going to be a little bit of delay. And I don't mean that this is going to be years or even particularly months. It feels like this delay is necessary and needed because there are some things that need to be cleared up a little bit off of your side, but also their side. And this could have to do with just general, you might have work to finish up, or it feels like maybe there's a family, issue or something that needs to be cleared. And I keep hearing cleared and controlled, which is really, I don't normally get that word controlled because that's not really a word that I would normally use. But it feels like there needs to be some control over a situation. And it doesn't mean that you need to control a person or a person needs to control you or there needs to be control on a personal level. It just feels like there's a level of having to get things together is basically what it is, like putting a control onto something. Again, this could be work, it could be, family, whatever it is. So the delay that I'm feeling is I do feel there is somebody, and I want to say that this is somebody that you're already have an interest in, possibly, maybe you don't know them, but it feels as though this energy is very connected to you in some manner. That's why I keep wanting to say that you may know them, or that you already have an interest in them. But I keep getting that in order to make this a solid relationship, in order to make this a relationship that will last, or a relationship that is going to have genuine, a sense of authenticity and genuineness from both of you, there needs to be a little bit more work done. Again, going into like some sort of situation needs to be controlled. Like what I'm getting is if you were to come together right now, there would be a little bit of chaos sort of going on. And again, this could be off of their side, but it just feels like it's not quite the time yet. And so if you have some things that need to be handled or taken care of, or again, controlled, not people, please don't control people, but that's where you're going to really, like, once that's taken care of, it's all going to come through. And I do you know if they were older or younger than me? That I can't. So again, I don't think I mentioned this at the beginning of the show. I should have. So I never actually, tell people who their people are, simply because of the fact, if I was to say that they were older, then you may only be looking for older people. And but then somebody younger comes along and I don't want that to be dismissed. Okay. So we never go into like names, how you're going to meet, who they are, where you're going to, what time you're going to meet them, like time of day. We can give an approximate month or date or, something like that. But I don't
Spirit.
This is put towards a person, because here's the thing. I could say that they're older, but it's their soul that is older and they could appear younger. Okay. So, or, I could say, hey, they're younger, but again, they could be older, but they'll have a younger energy. So, because I read off of energy more so than anything else. But this is what I keep getting as far as this person coming forward is there needs to be some sort of healing of a situation first.
I think you're totally spot on here, Kathy, because I'm picking up the same energy. Spirit keeps showing me that things are like they're blocked or not being fully experienced. And the way I see it is they're kind of showing me that there's this haze surrounding the situation. And it feels like right now there is a friendship, but there seems to be some kind of very almost psychic, instinctual connection with you and this person. As far as their energy, just like Kathy was saying, we don't limit what is being shown just because of our interpretations of energy. I will say this though, sometimes, and this is extremely rare, sometimes spirit will jump in and say, hey, this needs to be known. And we'll just, it'll be like a channeled thing. We probably won't even know where we're saying it. But as far as reading energy, that is a totally different situation. So just know it is extremely rare. It's not impossible. It just doesn't happen. And if you want consistency in psychic readings, this is what we're offering here. But what I am showing about this person is that they have quite an abundant spirit. There is seems to be a lot focused on material things, either issues or reality. And they're showing me that this is actually what is causing this emotional rift. They're showing me a lot of friction in the emotions and the emotional connection with you. So it's like you both can feel this connection, but it's the emotions that are being thrown into a whole different area just because of this friction with that person. They are showing me quite a masculine energy. They are showing me, again, that sense of abundance as far as who this is. So I'm not sure if it is older or younger either, but they are showing me it's because of where they are with this sort of material focus and the things that are physical purely, that this is really cutting off that emotional nature of the connection. So like Kathy was saying, they do kind of have to go through their own things right now. They have to really come and confront this part of themselves. And once they do, that connection is going to be able to surge and flow beautifully because the connection is already there. It's just, again, those emotions are kind of being blocked off right now because they themselves are blocking them within them.
Whoa, what did I just do to my screen? Sorry, guys, just a second. I don't know what I don't think you guys see that, but I somehow messed up the entire screen. So, okay.
Oh, no.
There we go. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. And again, like that, confirming with Brandon, it feels like the connection is there, and they're actually saying, it's been there for a while. So I'm glad that what it is that we're talking about here. But again, let the situation heal. And I feel like, as we had said to the last caller, being that observer or just taking that step back, focusing inward, allowing the situation of whatever it is to heal on its own will actually make this happen faster. Okay. So again, when we talk about the delay, it won't be, I don't feel years or anything like that. I just feel like it's a shorter delay. Okay.
Judy, I want to ask you if you suffer from any kind of like anxiety or nervousness, because spirit keeps showing me this image of you really trying to open a new leaf here of embracing the unknown. Because I'm asking them what you need to do at this time, if you can kind of push or fuel on your end to help this person or help the situation. And they keep showing me to really open this leaf of embracing the unknown and becoming comfortable with it. So the key indicator of somebody who is trying to resist or isn't fully certain about, going into that realm, embracing that unknown, really coming to a sense of acceptance, having that sense of faith and trust. Trust is going to be the biggest one.
Mm-hmm.
That really will help to eliminate that nervousness, because that nervous energy really does block a lot from fully manifesting. And so if you do want to be able to see that, it would be wise for you to sort of take control of that energy for your own self and let things flow as they do. And Judy's a Pisces, right? Judy's a Pisces?
Yeah.
That's such a Piscean thing. They are so deeply connected to the world and spirit around them, and it's so common for them to feel anxious or nervous, and it's really their mastery in this life that they really can be manifestors, not manipulators, manifestors.
Well, manipulating energy to some degree is manifestation, right?
I would say that's more Scorpio than anything else.
True enough.
But they really can be masters at this because they already traverse these realms. They walk that line of spirit and reality. So that it really can be of benefit. So if anything that you feel like you need to invest into or do, Judy, it is definitely mastering that faith, that trust in the unknown, having faith or trust that spirit is going to protect that unknown and bring it to you as you need.
And I feel like too, to add to what Brandon just said, it's interesting because I almost feel like you're walking along and I'm getting a very similar energy to what I can experience, where you have all of this stuff coming at you empathically. Okay. So you might be around people and you're just feeling stuff, and you're feeling their emotions, you're feeling this person, you're feeling that person, like whatever it is, maybe you're just feeling that energy in the air. And it might not be a bad idea just to learn how to, block the energy or to bubble yourself. And I'm going to show you just a really quick demonstration of something that really helps me. And I've demonstrated this to others, but it's really about taking an energy bubble. So what you can do is you can actually put your hands together. I'm just going to make myself a little bit bigger here so you can see a little bit. It's really putting your hands together and start creating an energy vortex. Okay, make it bigger. And what you're doing is you're really allowing yourself to focus in on this vortex. Now, it doesn't need to be like, imagine as if you're holding like a ball in your hand, and keep increasing it and keep increasing it. And you will actually be able to eventually feel that energy manipulation within you. You'll be able to feel that bubble. What you can do is bring that bubble above your head, because you want to reach the crown chakra, which is the top of the head. And you want to start bringing, like, imagine a bubble, like as if you were blowing a bubble, and imagine this bubble coming all the way down and going under the soles of your feet. And so now when you're going out into public, or maybe you're just, walking down the street, maybe even at home, maybe there's people within your home, that you're trying to remove that energy from, or keep that energy, a negative energy, away from you in some way. So now the energy inside of the bubble is yours, and recognize the fact that the other people aren't really allowed within that space. It's just interesting. I've actually done this, and it's fascinating because I have gone into the store. I'll go into a store. Now, not everybody does it. Like, some people will just kind of, walk right by you, whatever, but at least you're feeling secure. I have seen literally people walk around me. like as if they're trying to, and you're like, oh, I know you. You're empathic too, because they're feeling that bubble, and they can feel that energy field around you. And I've seen people walk, and they'll be like, all of a sudden, just like scoot, and it's so interesting to see that when it happens, because you're like, damn, that really worked. Like, it's like that proof. Not everybody is going to, obviously, like, there's going to be people that are, completely stone cold, non-empathic in any way and they'll just walk right through it. But it doesn't matter because you're protected. You're protected. And that's the thing. And so, you know, it really, really helps. Energetic social distancing. I love that, Michelle.
Yeah.
Right. I love that. That is the best way to describe it, actually. I love that. So yeah, it really does help. And then it allows you to just focus in on yourself, your own energy. It allows you to do, you know, the clearing that you need as you're, you know, walking up to people or again, in groups or whatever it is. So definitely, I hope you try it. Let us know how it is like on our next show. You know, if you try it this week, we'd love to hear how that worked for you. So
Well, definitely
yeah,
just doing that, I could feel the warmth and tingling in my
right?
hands immediately. I could feel that like almost palpable
Yeah.
sensation. It was very cool. It works. It
You
definitely
know,
does something.
this is so I'm not gonna embarrass my daughter, but I'm gonna talk about like something. This It's not embarrassing to her in any way. But I remember, actually it wasn't with her because I was actually asleep when she was born, but with her sister and her brother. So I had C-sections with all of the kids, and they give you an epidural, right? So you know, you can't feel anything from like about, you know, the chest down. And the bubble that I have created at times, you know, when I've gone out in public, it almost feels like it felt like this, like you're being in this warm, floaty, beautiful bath, you know, where you can like if you've ever been in what do they call those
Sensory
like
deprivation tank.
yes, yeah, like that, like where you just feel free and you're just
I have done it. It's beautiful.
yeah.
Really.
And what you can do is kind of create the float tanks. That's exactly it. Yeah. And when you go in there, you know how you just feel so at one with yourself. And when you can create that bubble and really try for that energy, you know, if you can't be completely in that energy, that's okay. But it's something to kind of strive for. And then you know that you're within your own realm. So yeah, they are wonderful. I was just reading Michelle's comment. They are amazing. I love them. So yeah.
It's such a unique experience. I think I was expecting more because I heard so many people talk about it like, oh, it was this amazing like experience and awakening, and they're like, I was like in my head and I understood and heard my thoughts, and so I got in there and I'm like, well, this isn't any different for me than it was, you know, in just a normal meditative state of mind for me. So that's when I kind of started to understand. I was like, oh, I think I'm already doing this and I don't necessarily need that. But what I loved about it was that feeling of your body not being separated from the outside world. That's what I really, really loved. Loved that
Absolutely.
sensation. There are some times that I'll be sitting there and it feels like if I'm in like a really good state, it feels like the air that I'm breathing is no different than the air that's right here. So it's as if I'm breathing in my lungs, like directly into the lung, not going through the mouth or the throat, but it's just like this. The air in the lungs feels the same as the air that's right outside my body. And that's the similar sensation I get in the float tanks. It's that feeling of connectedness again, you know, and continuity of self. It's such a
Yeah,
beautiful feeling. I love that.
absolutely. It is. It's just, I don't know. I can't really describe it. It's like you're just, I don't know. It's that energy.
In utero.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so, it's like rebirth in some way.
Yeah.
It's just a
Hmm.
rebirthing feeling. So, I hope that that's helped anyway, Beth, Jetty, and thank you so much for joining today. Who is next?
All right. Let's see. That is going to be lucky number 4. Number 4.
Okay, who is number 4? Hello, Michelle.
Hey, so 4, we actually have Kay, who just rejoined us in the chat, and she's a
Perfect.
Virgo. She's asking, what will I feel when I tell her goodbye officially? I hope I got that right, Kay. Please
Oh,
feel free to clarify if not.
I feel the energy right away. Thank you, Michelle. Whew, I can feel exactly that heaviness and that sense of worry here, Kay. So I think we've got your question.
Okay, go ahead, Brandon. I'll let you go.
Okay. So let me just connect here. I can feel the brevity of it. I can feel the sense of disconnect. I can feel you, Kay, doing this for your own self, your own benefit. I want to tell you that this connection will be recycled, if that makes sense. They're showing me that this person, whomever is being let go of, is about to go through their own sense of rebirth. It will take some time. And when I say time, I mean years. I do feel years. So your disconnect, it feels like it's coming at this right time, however it is playing out for you. I don't know if you feel pressured or forced into it. It does feel like you don't have much of a choice, but it does feel like it's a step for your own sense of benefit here. So I just want to share the immediate first impressions that the connection is being recycled and you're taking the right steps, the right action. I'm going to try and connect here more with your energy while Kathy looks into this as well, and just seeing how it's going to impact you.
Okay. So what I'm getting here, it's interesting because even though you're saying disconnect, how do like when I disconnect from them, is it how you're going to feel? I'm sorry, maybe I kind of misread the question. Was it how Kay's going to feel or how this person is going to feel? Brandon?
For me, what I was looking into was that it was how the other person, well, I don't know, she may be asking both, but I was really feeling both energies, both people involved, and I felt like she was asking about how the other person was going to feel.
Okay. All right. I guess I keep getting like these D words that are coming through, like disagree, disassociate, it's like this heavy energy. It's like I literally feel almost like this energy of this person not really wanting to let go. I'm assuming that they're alive.
They're an energy drain, though. They're constantly always bringing
feels
difficult.
like, yeah, like it just feels like I literally am almost seeing, I don't know how to explain it. It's like if somebody was hanging off a cliff and they're trying to grab at you to pull them back up. And
Yes.
It feels like a very heavy energy, like they would want to either pull you down with them or, they want you to rescue them. And it feels like this could be a constant rescue in some way, or a constant, like it almost feels like I'm being choked. Like, I don't know how to explain that, but it's like a real heavy energy. Yeah. And I feel like there could be a disagreement, or they'll try to engage in some sort of disagreement, some sort of, right. Like, and it does feel like this energy of letting it, like you're going to have to do a complete disconnect. I would actually suggest, Kay, for you to go in and do some cord cutting. Do it with Archangel Michael. And you may have to do this like every day for a week, until you like you'll know when you're disconnected with it, because you won't be feeling that heaviness anymore, that pressure. Like it literally feels like somebody wanting to punch me right here. Like that's how I feel, like punch, and so it's a very, again, disagreement. They're not going to like this. And will she be sad that I leave? Yeah, of course, but it's more angry. I feel more anger or disappointment.
Oh, there will be anger. Oh
Like
boy,
like
there
it
will be
feels like for
anger.
me, it's anger, disappointment. Like I feel like what they're going to try to do is make it all about how could you do this to
Yep.
me? How
You're
could you?
awful. Why would you do that? Yeah,
Right,
it's gonna be
right. Like
all.
it's a very somebody who it feels like somebody who cannot take responsibility for themselves, so they throw it on to you, even though you're doing the best thing for yourself. They're going to make it all about them and how dare you. And I feel like that could raise even and I'm just reading Kay's anger because she can't take my energy. Absolutely, because and that's exactly what I felt. It was like this energy, and it feels like energetically it's choking you. It's making you feel, like I said, it just feels like punch, 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 like it's constant punch, and Kay, I am going to suggest for you for sure to do a cord cutting with Archangel Michael. I want you to ask Michael as well to place peace around this person. And the reason for that is because I do feel that they could react externally. Okay. Now, whether this is physically, whether this is like gossipy or trying to do something on a revenge type of style. If I write a goodbye text and block her, what will she do when she realizes that I'm gone for good externally? Like externally meaning like there could be, try to reach out in some external, like when I mean externally, like it could mean like they could react physically, they could react by trying to hurt you in some way, like again, gossipy or whatever. It just feels like their anger could affect you in some manner. And that's is she going to do revenge? That's very possible. And that's why I'm asking if here's the thing, even if they're in a different state, like a different province or a different state, like living a distance, you would have to block her on like all social media formats, okay? Because they could is she going to seek revenge? I'm going to say there's a good possibility. Can I guarantee that? No. You know what I mean?
Well,
yeah.
I keep getting a vision on how to help mitigate this.
Yeah.
If you can sort of make it about yourself, okay? If you can say, listen, I have to do this because my emotions are just way too sensitive, to feel these types of things, kind of whatever she might be bringing to you in your life. Be like, I have to do something to help mitigate, my energy and my feelings and my emotions. So I think if you were to attack her in some way and be like, hey, you're doing this and you're doing this and you're doing this, and it's because of this that I'm out of here, that's where that will feel way too personal and where I feel the possibility of revenge could happen. But if you word it more in a way of like, listen, I am on an extremely important path of really claiming and owning and understanding my emotions, and so I have to be distant, and I'm sorry that I have to be, but it just has to be this way. I think it will be a little less of an invitation for her to retaliate in some way. So what this will also do is show her how to do this for herself and how to claim and take responsibility of her emotions, her situations, instead of allowing them to be latched onto somebody else. The best way to show people how to do something is to lead by example, 100%.
Yeah.
So I think if you took that approach, it would be better for you as well, Kay.
Again, I really want to as you're doing the cord cutting, again, really ask your guides, your angels, even connect to some degree. It doesn't mean that you have to connect with their guides. It's basically just putting that energy out there. Please have their guides protect them. Please have their angels surround them. Please allow them peace so that they can heal from this as well. Because what that will do is it will help diffuse the situation in some manner. Okay, this way it's not just about you, it is about them, and spirit will come in and help with that situation. So I hope that helps, Kay. I really do. I feel like this, though, is going to be a beautiful move for you, a beautiful move. This is exactly what you need to do. As you're just saying, spirit told me to let it go. And I feel like absolutely you need to let it go, let it be, let it just, this isn't an energy that's for you in any way, at least at this time. There's a lot of healing that this person needs. There's a lot of learning and lessons that this person needs, and you're not there to, it's not your job to bring it to them at this time. Again, if you're doing it in the way that Brandon has suggested, but also again, asking for that peace coming in from spirit, and, ask spirit to help her understand, surround her with love and light, help her heal, that will help. Okay. I'm really getting that there's a lot about this person that I feel like other people have already recognized this energy from them as well. And I don't know how much it's going to be taken as seriously. Okay. You know what the funny thing is that sometimes I'm just going to give an example, like, whether it's on forums or maybe on your Facebook or social media in some way, there's always that one person who makes kind of trouble for everybody, right? But the thing is, people know that that's that person. Like it's only the very shallow of the people that are sitting there applauding them and going, yeah, you go. It's because they don't have a life either. So, ultimately, I feel you coming out of this in the best way possible, and this energy was needed to be let go of. So I hope that helps. And just keep asking for peace, asking for positive energy towards them, love and light, the whole bit. Like, just ask your guides and angels to somehow send that healing to them. Ask their guides and angels to send that healing to them on some way. You're so welcome. I was just reading I love that. You're currently surrounding her with a beautiful golden bubble right now. I absolutely love that. So, we definitely, as a group, I think that is an amazing way to do it, right? And
yeah, might as well use the new techniques we just learned.
and I really feel, Kay, like spirit came in to tell you to let go of this person, just knowing how much this was disrupting your own growth, your lessons, everything that needed to come through for you. And this person was just this block, and it needed to go. And you know what? When spirit asks us to remove stuff, spirit also sometimes protects us, or most of the time will protect us at the same time. So even though I know that there's a fear of the social media and all of that, again, just ask for the peace, love, and light around her. But spirit is asking you to let go of her for a reason, and they will come in and protect us at the same time. Right? So have faith in that. And I hope it helps.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I have to mute a little bit. There's a little barky dog outside, so I don't want everybody to have to listen to it. So
okay.
I'm trying to mute myself when he's barking here.
Perfect. So I think we could probably take the next one. And
like one or two more.
yeah, I don't actually know how many people are in still here. Michelle, who is next?
Oh, that will be number. Let's see. It's gonna be lucky number 6.
Hey guys. Okay, so Pumpkin is lucky number 6. They are a
Right.
Pisces. They're asking, what is Cancer, I'm assuming the other person, feeling towards me? Does he want to talk again?
Can you read that again? So sorry, honey.
So Pumpkin, a Pisces, is asking, what is Cancer feeling towards me? Does he want to talk again? So the person that they're asking about is the Cancer. Pumpkin is the Pisces. Sorry to make that confusing.
Okay. So immediately right off the bat, what I'm getting from Cancer is, yeah, you know what? I'm getting a lot of childish behavior from Cancer. Actually, it's really interesting energy. It's like a lot of ego, some childish energy. I literally feel like a stomping away from something. I don't know. I think this is the energy that they're giving off, like stomping away. Like I didn't get my toy, so I'm going to stomp away. And, I didn't get the candy bar in the store, so I'm going to throw a temper tantrum in some sort of energy form. So I feel like they will. What I'm hearing very directly, though, Pumpkin, is do not engage with this person until they come forward. Okay? Do not reach out to them. Don't, I guess technically don't chase them at this point. They have to come to you because there's a lot of things that they have to. I feel a lot of anger and childish person, energy. We went on a date and it didn't go well. Definitely don't because okay, so you're saying here that it's been 2 weeks since you heard from them. Before that, everything was great. So here's the thing. I think that in itself kind of tells you a lot about this person. It just feels like there's a very strong childish energy about them. They want their way. It's if they don't get their way in some form, like whether or not it's the way that you express yourself or talk. I'm going to be honest. I feel a very controlling energy around this person, like trying to control situations or and they may not do that with force. I almost feel like there's a pouty behavior, a childish behavior behind it that creates this element of I need to get my way. But there's a very manipulative energy behind that also. So there's a part of me that's kind of saying, you know what, good riddance. But I mean, I understand if you're in that energy of wanting this person back, it is going to be very important. There's going to be I'm not going to lie, this is the person you have to teach. And there's going to be a lot of teaching behind this. I don't even know if you really want to go into this energy because they can play really good with your emotions. Like they'll come off really great but then all of a sudden, boom, turn around and be like, and you'll be like, who the fuck are you? Excuse my language. But you'll be like, what the hell are you? Like, what the, like, everything was fine like 2 minutes ago. And now you're all like this. And like, I don't even know. Right.
So spot on with that, Kathy. Like, that's so true. It's like this person plays as if they know or have it all, but yet have no idea what in the hell they're doing. Like, it may look that way on the outside, but I am telling you, they are just as lost as internally as their soul is. Like, there's that feeling of, I am not sure what to do. And just like you said, Kathy, you're going to have to teach them. You would have to take them every step of the way. And The one thing that Spirit keeps showing me, I don't know if this means something specifically to you, Pumpkin, but they keep showing me that your response should be like, I am the sun and the moon. Like, I do not need you. If that's how you are, like, then you just go do your own little thing. You go live in that bubble. But to be quite honest, Pumpkin, I feel like you don't want to have to teach somebody, you know, to be in connection with you or on your level, or to have that sense of balanced equation, you know, in a relationship. I feel like you could. That's not the question. It's should you have to, and I don't feel that you should have to.
Yeah, I would definitely say, do you know when he might contact me? I thought he might. Okay, you know why? Because I think he's expecting you to contact him. That's why I think this is part of that control in some way. So,
he would be responsive too if you contacted.
Yeah.
There would definitely be a response.
He'd
He'd be playing too.
Responsive. But I would actually say, like, again, he needs a lot of learning. I probably wouldn't. I let him come to you. Will he come to you? Yeah, because he's going to have a temper tantrum at the fact that you haven't contacted him first, and he's going to be like, "Well, I guess I better just see why Pumpkin hasn't contacted me." Like, you know, there's a lot of ego at play here with this person. Yeah. So I'm
such
really
a softie
getting,
on the inside.
Yeah, like
they just hide it.
I would just kind of, I think I would just put them in a corner until they grow up and just sort of leave them there for a while. Like, you know, that's kind of the energy. When he might. So when he might, I don't feel it would be very long, because he wouldn't want you to forget about him, even though he thinks that he's unforgettable. Okay. So there's that conscious and subconscious mind at play here. The conscious mind is like, oh, well, I'm great. How would she ever forget about me? But the subconscious mind is like, well, maybe I should just ping them a bit. Maybe I'll just send this quick text, and, you know, so that they can remember, or so that they can, you know, shine in my aura, or whatever the hell. Like, there's a lot of ego going on.
Bask in my light.
Yeah. I'll send this text so that, you know, I can grace her with my presence. Da, 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 you know, like, like literally that is the energy coming through. So I don't know. Like I said, put him in a corner, you know, and give him a soother. When he finally grows up, you know, maybe there's something. I mean, if you want that energy around, that's your choice. You know, there's always free will. We can't
say nothing wrong with that.
But I can almost guarantee, Pumpkin Pie, that it would be one of those readings that it would be like, okay, when is he going to do this? Like in a couple of weeks from now, you know, well, this, you know, why did he do this? It's because this guy is like so full of himself. It's not even funny. And he's got a lot of growing to do at this moment. But yeah, put him in the corner. Absolutely. Put him in the corner. Let him have his temper tantrum. When he's ready, when he grows up, let him come, you know, you can give him his lollipop then, or whatever, you know. It's just, yeah, I would move on. I really would. I would suggest moving on. But again, you know, this is free will. This is your choice. But yeah,
it's totally up to you. Like, we're not saying we're not saying one way or another if it's right or wrong. That's for you to personally decide. We're just saying, in the context of a relationship, when you are so very much in the ego, it's hard to even have a relationship to begin with. So again, that's why we said it would take time, that he would take nurturing and teaching and all that. And you really have to be willing. You know, I always say this, every single relationship on this earth can work. The question is, what are you willing to gain or give up to make that happen? And that's why we always try to guide people to relationships that complement who you already are. So that way you're not forced into changing and gaining or getting anything. So if, you know, you wanted to, that's totally fine. We hold no judgment. We hold only love for you and what you experience and what you want. but we're just trying to help you align with what you want. That's all.
Yeah. And exactly as Michelle says, I love this. Let him realize what a catch you are. Because right now, he thinks he's a catch.
Yes.
He ain't. This is not a catch. Maybe he's like a ball. You can catch the ball, but then you throw the fucking thing back, right? You just let it bounce away. That's, but let him realize I love that. I'm so proud of my daughter. But
I am
yeah,
the sun and the moon.
wow, what's that?
That's what I was seeing as well. That spirit was showing me for Pumpkin to respond. I am the sun and the moon. Right. It's the same thing. You are the catch. Let him realize that.
Absolutely. So I think we can do one more today.
We got time for about one more here.
And who would be next?
See. So that is going to be lucky number 7.
7. Who's 7?
Okay, guys. So 7 is Hummingbird. They are a Libra, and their question is, what is coming for me this April?
Oh.
All right.
Okay. Oh, you're so welcome, Pumpkin. I hope that it helped. Hummingbird. Okay. What is coming for you in April? Wow. Okay. I may need confirmation on this, but this is what I'm getting right off the bat. It feels as though there is something that you're leaving and something that you're gaining. It's like an energy of, that expression, you close one door and another door opens. This is the energy that I'm being shown almost immediately. You might be walking away from something. This could be a relationship, a job, something. It feels like it could be a mindset even. But I'm literally being shown you walking through a door, closing the door, walking down a hallway, and opening a new door. So there may be a little bit of a delay in between the one, like from the one closing to the one opening, as if, again, if you're being shown a hallway, it's like you walk through the door, you close the door behind you, you might have to walk down the hallway a little bit, trot, trot, trot. But then you walk up to another door, open the door, and there it is. And it feels like that closing of that one door is going to open that new one. What is it about, though, that I'm struggling a little bit with? But it feels, I don't know. It almost feels like this could be a relationship, but it could be a relationship with like a job, or again, maybe within something within yourself. It could be an actual relationship, but it just feels like you are letting it go. Like when you shut that door, you're shutting that door. I hope, does that help? Does that make sense to you now? Because you're, looking forward to new opportunities. Okay. Being optimistic.
There you go.
Good. Okay. So that kind of confirms exactly what I was saying. It feels like you do have to shut some doors first, whether this is on a metaphysical level or whether this is on an actual physical level, right? Metaphysical or physical. There needs to be some doors shut first, for these new opportunities. So I don't even know if you have to wait, because I'm hearing from Spirit, you don't need to really wait till April. You can start the process of closing off some of these doors now. This might be on an emotional level, like letting go of some things. This could be on a level of maybe I literally am seeing you packing. So I'm not sure what that's about. This could be, again, packing, on a emotional level. It might not be actual physically packing, but maybe you are. But I'm literally seeing like packing stuff, like it's time to go, is what I keep hearing. So I don't know. I hope that helps.
I think that's really good advice, because what I'm being shown is that this process isn't going to be exactly easy. And especially if you do wait all the way until April for things to happen as they are, because I do feel that there's some of these, there's definitely some cutting out. Spirit keeps showing me a lot of self-talk that's going to be being cut out. And that, just as I was actually talking about in the very beginning of the show, and maybe you were the one that was supposed to hear this, that what's happening in that subconscious realm, that needs to be, made sure that it's in line or modified or just literally aligned with your goals and what you're wanting to achieve for your life or connect with. I am being shown, that there may be some kind of tower moments, like tower in the tarot cards. But just remember, a tower isn't necessarily a negative card. It's a card of new beginnings, and that some of the old paradigms and things that we invested in need to fall away so that we can, rebuild what we want. And they really keep indicating a lot of self-talk. So I do feel that this has something to do with your own manifesting abilities and your own direct connection between idea, tangible, object or physical thing. So definitely clear out the emotions, but I think, take Kathy's advice here, and I would start right away. We're still in that new moon energy, so lots of seeds can be planted today that you want to be able to harvest during this next, moon cycle.
Yeah. This might be why I'm being shown that delay, because of the fact, like when I'm talking about delay, like the hallway from the closing to the opening the new door, like I said, it might be something that you want to start the process of now, even if it's in slow amounts. It doesn't feel like I don't feel that you need to hold on to it until April. Okay. So I hope that helps. Like when I see you opening this door, I just had to kind of focus in on a little bit. When I see you opening this door, I am being shown the sun. Okay. The sun coming through. It's like you open, when you open the door and you see this like ray of sun coming through. I can't tell you what's on the other side of the door, but I do feel that this is a very positive beginning for you. It feels bright and warm and new and just applying to a new college.
Yeah, that's such
there
a
you
big
go.
monumental thing. No wonder.
Yeah. So I absolutely love that. Yeah, because it just feels like this is going to really broaden your future, is what I want to say. So, I hope that helps everybody. I'm sorry that we can't get to everybody today. Please remember, guys, we are here, at 2:00 on every Sunday. Try to, come early if you can. But always, for the donations, we do put them as a priority, and we have the link above in the picture here. Brandon, thank you. Would you like to give your all of your information?
Yes, my pleasure being here. And I will always try and make time to come here to connect with you all. So you can connect with me at thedreamteacher.com. Again, just explore the page and the website. Click on the appointments tab to book a slot with me. Downloads tab gives you some cool stuff, little hypnotherapy downloads and stuff like that. Remember, I am a clinical and transpersonal hypnotherapist. The tracks that I do, they're not just freelance. They are curated, crafted from a trained, state certified professional. So you're getting good quality stuff there. My whole purpose is to help you heal past difficult emotions, help you get into that most, I guess, refined, balanced place that you can be. So when we have sessions together, it's a full encompassing experience. That's why I offer the free appointments, the free consultation, so you kind of get a taste of what you are able to experience. It's not just psychic reading, it is healing, it is energy healing, it is frequency understanding, it's all sorts of stuff. So if you're curious, thedreamteacher.com, that's where you can link up with me.
And for readings with me, you guys can reach me at oracleintuitions.com, also through my Facebook and my Instagram page. Just message me, and my reading information is on my Facebook page as well as my website as well. Michelle, thank you for everything. Are you there?
Thank you so much.
I'm here. Yep. Hi.
Thank you so much for your amazing talents today in helping
thanks,
us
guys. I
through
appreciate it.
everything. We so appreciate it. We
So much.
so love having you here with us. Thank you to everybody. Did anybody have anything, last words? Have an amazing
There is spirits. You know, one of the words that's here in Hawaii is mana, the spirit that is in all things. And there really is spirit and energy in all things. And if only we can tune ourselves to interact with it, we can bring it into our experience. So just know where you are, know where your own mana is, your own frequency, and align it with what you want to see in your life.
Absolutely. Thank you so much again, Michelle. Say bye to everybody because we can't see you.
Bye, everybody. It's been super fun.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Aloha.
Take care. Have a good week.
See you next week.
And see you next week. Yeah, there you go.